This is it. After spending 10 hours pouring my heart and soul into this drawing, I failed. I don't know if I'm happy or disappointed, but I give up.
If you just clicked on this video to know about the output and about the result of my final attempt, I can tell you that it was a fail. Aww. My last attempt at doing art the way that I've been doing it up until now is a fail. I'm not proud of it, but I learned a couple of things that I would like to share with you. Lately, I've been wanting to sort of go further away from my comfort area of drawing portraits, which I usually do, mostly female portraits in charcoal. And I felt the need to really capture something more candid. The drawing that resulted when I was planning this illustration is probably one of my favorites. And not necessarily because of how correct it is anatomically or about how intricate it is. I don't think it's intricate at all, but I'm really proud of it because I managed to successfully push myself out of my comfort zone. I don't usually draw bodies. I don't render them out. So to manage to do two bodies and a semblance of a pet is amazing to me. And moreover, I sort of gave it a story. And I really want to start doing that in my art. It means a lot to me. Ever since I started, I wanted to have my drawings have a meaning behind them and to show those little moments in life that seem mundane but are really truly beautiful. I don't think I ever put in so much effort into finding references, into planning a piece. How do I want them to scrunch their noses? Where are they facing? What type of dog do I want in this picture? Like, it really challenged me. And this was a really cool way of just sort of delving in and figuring out loads of stuff. And throughout all of that, sort of brushing up on the things that I've been learning and neglecting. But I knew that this piece needed color. That's the direction I wanted to take it in. With that being said, I realized that I sort of had to go back to gouache. In the background, not filming it, I have been dabbling in color, more specifically gouache. I've been trying to learn mostly with moderately bad to terribly bad results. There were some good ones, but I don't know. I could not figure it out. I cannot hack it. But I told myself, let's try again. Come on, you can do this. I mean, you've learned so many things about so many different mediums, about drawing, about perspective. Like, come on, we can figure out gouache, right? Like, come on. So I pushed myself because I thought, fine, I'll do it. I'll figure it out. I've been learning gouache for 6 months with varying degrees of success. I should give it one last try. And so I reluctantly transferred my drawing onto the paper. And in order to force myself to finish the piece, because I, especially with gouache, leave a lot of pieces unfinished because I get frustrated, I put up the camera and I started recording. Now, when I was doing the adults, everything was fine. I was a bit scared, I was a bit uncomfortable, but it was in a good uncomfortable way in terms of like, yeah, I feel like I'm learning, I feel like I'm pushing myself, I'm pulling and I'm prodding at this painting and I'm working with the medium and trying new things, and although it might not be perfect, it's going in a nice direction, With the father finally done, my real challenge actually began because I was about to do the central point, which was the girl and the dog. And I was still nervous, but I went forward. I was like, I'm filming this. I have 10 hours of footage. I need to do this. I want to do this. And this is, my final shot at gouache to see after 6 months, what can I produce? How can I translate my vision? So I went into it. I went full steam ahead. I went forward with everything that I've learned up until now in terms of technicality, like the tea to cream method and mixing colors separately and doing skin premixes and doing swatches and all of that. But something just felt off. I couldn't get it right, and I tried again, and for some reason it felt like the universe was literally like blocking me from doing it. My camera was malfunctioning, the paint was not painting, the colors seemed very weird, it wasn't moving in the right direction. The blending didn't come out right, which is, by the way, very hard to do with gouache. It wasn't working, and it felt like everything was going against me. I was like, okay, I've been filming this. I need to get to the end of it. So I pushed ahead. I wanted to finish this. I'm not going to let my final attempt end in a half-finished drawing. There was something that shifted in my mind at that point. Because whilst up until now, I treated everything as a welcome challenge, at this point, I started to feel genuine negative feelings, like genuine frustration and genuine anger towards myself. And in my stubbornness, I kept pushing forward, and the thoughts just became more negative. I know it might seem dramatic if you're not an artist or if you're not that emotionally invested in your art, but as a background, I've been trying to do art as a way of coping with starting my work in corporate. To me, it has been a very tumultuous time getting out of, the education system and into corporate, getting a job. There have been a lot of realizations that I made lately regarding what I like doing and how I would like to spend the rest of my life. And in all of this, art has been a refuge for me. So whenever I failed and I felt bad, it hurt me. It hurt me more than it would have hurt other people. As I was sort of getting into this stage of my drawing, the thoughts really, they were bad, dude. They were just bad. I mean, it was sort of like, oh, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing art? This is so silly. Like, who does art at this age? Like, you're not even an artist. You didn't go to art school. You're wasting your weekend. You're only 2 days away from work doing this crappy art, and look at you. You're not able to do stuff. And I started doubting myself, and I don't know, it literally felt like the universe was out for me. My mind was out for me that day or something. I was just starting to feel worse and worse. And to rub salt on the wound, I had told myself that this is my last time doing gouache, and to produce such a bad painting, it was like, oh, dude, that's not good. As I was looking at this, I realized that, in fact, I wanted to post this footage because there was something important about it. It was the realization that hit me that probably I've been approaching art wrong, and probably you've been approaching art wrong, and so many of us have. I think that artists have besides their love for art, they also have a love for putting themselves in uncomfortable situations for the heck of it or for developing new skills. However, a lot of us don't know when to stop. If there is one thing that you must take away from this whole ordeal of mine, dude, literally listen to yourself. Like, shut up, and listen to yourself. Listen to what you're thinking. Like, genuinely take away all of the expectations and take away what you think people will think of it and how it will be received and what is supposed to be good and what is supposed to be bad. Just take all of that away and genuinely ask yourself, like, am I enjoying this? Does this help me do something, or is this bad? So, in short, at the end of this whole story, I did not do the painting that I wanted. And on the contrary, I caused myself a lot of negative feelings, but I also pushed myself. And I learned something way more important. Explore as much as you can. Push yourself as much as you can. Try as many things as you can. But at the end of the day, just sit there, shut up, and listen to yourself and ask yourself, do you really want to do this? Do you really like it? And don't discredit your own opinion. You're the only person that knows yourself, you know? And with that said, I cleaned up my gouache paints for one last time. I mixed them all together and I closed the lid on the gouache chapter and probably a chapter in my art journey that I've been stuck in for a long time. And I don't think I'm sad about it. I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't really even like gouache.
Last Friday night.